Hey everybody, it's Galmadex and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we'll be doing another Kaldheim Premier Draft, first draft of the new season. So I am back down to Platinum Limited rank. I think like Platinum 4 or something is where it puts you after Mythic. So we'll see if we can start climbing up again here. Our first pack doesn't have a really obvious first pick to me. None of these commons, I think, are super first pick worthy. Lindworm is one of the better green creatures in this set. Firewalker's okay. Raven's one of the better blue creatures if you're trying to do something flying. Rune of Speed can be good with equipment. Carter's great in Rakdos Berserkers, but that is taking a gold card first pick and locking us into that strategy is the only place we're going to play the Doom Scourge. The rare's not great. Even Provoke the Trolls is kind of a worse removal spell than the common removal in red. It's just not a super exciting pack here. I guess I will go with Carter, but I'm not in love with this because it's pretty easy that we end up in a spot where we have to cut this and end up in another strategy. Whereas if you take a powerful mono-colored card like Clarion Spirit, we could end up in red-white or white-black aggro. Even just like white-blue Fertel can make good use of Clarion Spirit, so I like the Clarion Spirit a lot here. I think that'll be my pick. There are several other good picks in this pack. There's the Gold Vein pick. Mistwalker, a great blue creature. Struggle for Skemfar, great green removal. I think these three are probably the best other three cards in here, but I think it's probably still just Clarion Spirit. Marita the Frost can be pretty solid as well in the snow decks. They do tend to have a lot of big creatures, definitely in the green-based ones. This pack's pretty interesting. We see a Seraph's Packmate, best green common creature, Bergstrider, great blue creature, and Shimmerdrift Veil. Just a great mana fixer in any deck, especially great in snow decks, obviously, being a snow land that also taps for whichever color you choose when you play it. If we want to do some kind of a aggressive deck, Fearless Liberator would go into Boros aggro. We'd be playing it in red-white with Clarion Spirit, or we would be playing it in red-black with Carter Doom Scourge. So Liberator does pair well with my first two picks, although it's not that powerful. Often you don't really want to be boasting with it because you want to be playing just a bigger card than a 2-1 on turn 3, and so on and so forth. Kind of think I still want to take Liberator though, just because it pairs so well, just as the peanut butter and jelly in the middle of the sandwich here, where we can definitely play that either red-white or red-black. It pairs well with either one of our first two picks. Great Hall of Starnheim does pair really well in an Orzhov aggressive deck with Clarion Spirit, but then we are dropping both of our other cards if we end up in Orzhov aggro. Generally in the aggressive decks in this format, unless you have a ton of Gold Vein picks giving you treasure all the time, you really just want to be two colors because you don't want to stumble on your mana at all. You want to really beat your opponents before they set up their really powerful late game stuff. So yeah, I think the aggro decks in this format are just so aggressive that you kind of really have to stick to two colors if you can, whereas the slower decks, definitely the snow decks, those are the decks you can really afford to go like 3 to 5 colors. So Hall of Starnheim, Story Seeker for white, Dwarven Reinforcements for Berserkers. I'm actually going to go Dwarven Reinforcements here. Like, I could see cutting Clarion Spirit and moving into red-black Berserkers, because then every single one of our cards is a Berserker here. These would all combo well with equipment as well, because now we have two different token producers, Reinforcements and Liberator. And generally the equipment in this format is pretty good, so if you have an aggressive deck that would pair well with the equipment, you're in a good spot for aggro. Looks like this might not be that open though. There's just no great aggressive cards here. There's like Warhorn Blast. If you're really wide, this can end the game. Doomscar Oracle's pretty mediocre. Way Down is kind of mediocre removal. There's like Glittering Frost and Snow-Covered Forest here for like a 5-color snow deck, but we'd be dropping everything to hop on that train here. Yeah, I really am not in love with this pack, but I guess I'm just going to take a Glittering Frost just in case. Alright, Kaya's Onslaught's a good sign for white, and Bound and Gold. These are both great signs for white. I might have to take Bound and Gold here. Even Iron Verdict is serviceable, but Bound and Gold is much better than Iron Verdict. There's an Ice Hide Troll in here too for snow. There's still a Snow Duel as well. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I think definitely white is looking pretty open. I guess I should go Bound in Gold. It's a really hard pick because Kaya's Onslaught can end the game. Like, this is an absolute finisher, and it can even end the game prematurely, like very early, if you have a decently sized attacker. But Bound in Gold is just fantastic removal. It deals with anything you need to get rid of at a really cheap rate. I'm going to go with the Bound in Gold, and we are still seeing decent, like 2 drops like Story Seeker this late in white, so I'm feeling good about white. For our second color, it's looking like red based on what we have so far, but it also depends on what's still in the packs. Behold the Multiverse, pick 8, is a real solid side for blue, and also Snow-Covered Island. Like, there's just nobody drafting snow heavily right now, I think, or just blue. That being said, again, we're at the point where we'd have to pretty much just not play everything that we've drafted so far, unless we move into like Bant snow, like blue, white, green. We could still play all these white cards. They would be a little weird in snow. I think I just want a Fearless Pup or a Starnheim Courser here. Take a Fearless Pup because it helps us double spell more often with Clarion Spirit and helps us play like a really aggressive curve. Yeah, snow is wide open here, but it's mainly just the snow lands that I'm seeing everywhere. So it could be that people are just drafting the snow threats and payoffs before the lands. Yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty good for just like Boros aggro here. I kind of like Goldvein pick a lot, but this land is quite good in this kind of deck because you can sacrifice this land, grab a Bound in Gold from your deck, and grab a Goldvein pick out of your deck. So this land is really good in the red-white deck, but so is the pick. Really hard choice, but I am going to take the pick there. Still a Bergstrider in here, and neither of these white cards are great. Giant Ox is just if you want to try to do the Ox Plow combo, which is really cute. Since this can crew with its toughness, there is one vehicle in the set that requires 6 to crew with, so it's a good combo with that if you're just trying to have fun with it, but generally not really. You know, I could see being blue-red for some reason. Master Scald is just not that exciting. We'll take the really late Bergstrider over a card that we'll probably end up cutting anyway. All the cards that we're not playing are like really solid, but we're also just probably not playing them. Open the Omen Paths is generally pretty unplayable, but I did see somebody try to cast Coma off of this in just like their red deck, which is absolutely hilarious. Like, it opens you up to being able to do silly splashes like that off of the first ability, but generally just not a great card. Well, here we have Starnheim Courser, Battlefield Raptor, or Basalt Ravager. I do really like Basalt Ravager. By itself, it's a 4-mana 4/2 that does 1 damage to any target when it comes into play. With any creatures that share types, it can do 2 pretty easily. In red-white here, the tribe that's most represented in that colors is Dwarves, and we do have 3 different cards that make Dwarves right now. So yeah, Basalt Ravager's looking pretty spicy here. I'm going to scoop that up. We have Forging the Tyrite Sword, but we don't have any really powerful equipment to grab. If you're just grabbing something like Goldvein pick, I'm not very excited about it. But if you're grabbing a great late game pick that's good after you have the treasure token to ramp into it, then I'm excited about this card. Like if we have Dwarven Hammers and stuff like that. As it stands, Tyrite Sword is not that great. Axguard Armory is, though, because it's a land and a spell all in one. Could take another Dwarf that's also one of the better 2-drops. I like that a lot. I also like the Firewalker, but it's less good with our creature types to go with Ravager. It does fill in our curve pretty well. We don't have any 3-drops yet. We would like some Firewalkers at some point, or some Coursers, either of those, to fill out the 3-drop slot. I think I am still going to just stick to our tribe here a little. Definitely going to scoop up another Goldvein pick. Would love to see Axguard Braggart Wheel. Don't know how likely that is. If we did just jump on all those snow lands, the snow duels and stuff, and try to start doing that, Path to the World Tree would be great here. with the Glittering Frost as well. There was definitely a universe in which we hopped strategies, moved into 5-color, and got pretty paid off there. I think I like Bloodline Pretender now that we're drafting dwarfs pretty highly. We can play this and just name dwarf on it and often get a couple counters on it. If you can turn this into a 4/4, it's pretty sweet. If on average you just turn it into a 3/3, that's not as exciting, but the other cards in our colors aren't fantastic. We have a Pup and a Scald. I like Pup better than Scald since we have 2 Gold Vein picks, but I think I still like Pretender better than either of those. It's our first 3-mana creature as well. Ooh, Usher of the Fallen, I do like that. It's that or a Valor of the Worthy, just a small pump, or Immerstrom Raider. One of the weaker 2-drops, just because it only has 1 toughness. Yeah, I'm going to take Usher of the Fallen here pretty easily. Doesn't look like anything for us in Boros here. Revitalize, Seize the Spoils, Scorn Effigy. All of these are cards we really don't want to end up having to play. I suppose we could take Seize the Spoils. Worst case scenario, it's like a little bit of a draw spell, kind of a slow draw spell, but it gets a treasure token as well. Then we have 2 Gold Vein pick and 1 Seize the Spoils. And we might be able to try splashing in Carter off of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that seems like a possibility, not like a huge one. But then we could maybe splash in Great Hall of Starnheim too. We'll see how good our mana looks at the end of this. We definitely would want a lot of ways to help the splash if we're going to be splashing in an aggressive deck. Yeah, there's just nothing in Boros anymore here. Yeah, I'm just going to take like a Snowland here. Probably not playing it, but maybe we end up with a ton of Frostbites or something and we need just tapped red snow sources. It's not very likely, but I don't think there's anything else in that pack that I could foresee playing at all. Probably the Mob here. That or the Code Spell Cleric. I'll just take the Mob for the top end. So right now, in terms of removal, we have just a Bound in Gold and a Provoke the Trolls. Pretty all right. In terms of equipment, we just have 2 Gold Vein pick. A lot of decent 2-drops. I guess we have 4 decent 2-drop creatures. Just trying to see what I'm really looking for here. Just more serviceable cards, really. Demon Bolts would be fantastic. I don't really want a Giant Ox. I'll just take a Snow-Covered Plains. Not super likely to get ran. But, again, for like Frostbites, it could happen. Here I will take Axguard Armory. I'm easily taking it over Forging the Tyrite Sword. Over Fearless Pup is a little less easy since we do have the double pick for the pups. But this card is just really nice to be able to cycle your land in the late game to not just draw 1 card, but draw 2 cards out of it, both of which being good cards. Like, if you can draw a removal spell off that, that's so good. Just grabbing Bound in Gold and a pick. Real solid stuff. Definitely want to pick up another Bound in Gold so we have 2 equipment and 2 auras at least, so that this pretty much always goes off whenever we sacrifice it. Definitely happy to pick up an Axguard Braggart. Relevant creature type and a good late game creature in the aggro decks. Less happy to pick up Scorn Effigy, but I mean, it's filler. Throw a 2/3 in here. If we don't get it, enough playables out of the final pack, we could end up running it. Well, there's another Carter Doomscourge, which would be cool for splashing, but there's the Demon Bolt I asked for. Pretty much the only thing in Boros here, unfortunately. Again, double Gold Vein pick and Seize the Spoils, but I think I would rather end up in just a better Boros deck with more cards like Demon Bolt in it and end up cutting Seize the Spoils and Carter than just trying to splash it off these treasures. So I'm not going to draft the second Carter and go more in on the treasures into Carter strategy. I mean, I guess if we end up in a deck that somehow has like 4 Gold Vein pick, then we can cut Seize the Spoil and still splash Carter. Seems pretty unlikely, but you never know what you're going to get out of the packs. Judge of Valor requires double black, so that is pretty much unsplashable in a red-white deck. I guess we're taking like Squash here. We can cast Squash off of our Bloodline Pretender. Other than that, even just 5 mana to kill something is okay. It's not great. Only have 12 creatures here, so maybe we really just want to pick up Doomscar Oracle, but this is a pretty mediocre creature. This should definitely wheel on average. Yeah, I'll take a Squash here. Probably wheel the Doomscar Oracle, the only other card out of that pack that I'm really looking at. Now we have another Dwarven Reinforcements or a Gold Maw Champion. I think I prefer Dwarven Reinforcements since we do have 2 equipments for them. We also have Bloodline Pretender, naming Dwarf on that, getting 2 counters when we cast. Dwarven Reinforcements seems solid. Just a couple cards that synergize quite well with Dwarven Reinforcements. We'd like to wheel Gold Maw Champion, but it's not likely. There's just not a lot of white in here. There's just 1 white card, literally, so somebody will probably scoop it up. But we would definitely run Gold Maw Champion way higher than we'd run Scorn Effigy. That would be the easiest cut there. We have 2 lands in this deck, so this is a 22 card deck right now. 18 lands, we definitely want more playables here. Well, any rune is solid with a pick. Make the picks +2/+1 and haste for 1 mana. Really nice. So I'm definitely going to take a Rune of Speed here. The only thing I'm taking it over is pretty much Cinderheart Giant, which is not really playable in Boros aggro. We're just never going to have the mana for this unless we've somehow like really gone off with Gold Vein picks. Blue-red Giants have a couple ways to make it cheaper and make it playable. I still only have 12 creatures. I have 2 Dwarven Reinforcements, so that's like 14 creatures. I kind of think I want to take Shieldmate over Frostbite here, but it's really close. Like, I think I still want more cheap creatures that are like 2 or less, and Shieldmate's one of the better ones because it can trade off with something and still spit out a body afterwards that you can then throw your picks back onto. Also, some of my creatures in here are cards that I really want to cut, like Scorn Effigy, so we could even say we're 11 creatures right now with 2 reinforcements, cut an Effigy out. Yeah, I'm going to take the Shieldmate there. Well, and now we just get a stack of good creatures. See, this is 24 now. Cut Carter. Play a 16 land deck here. Shieldmate, Story Seeker, Reinforcements. Kind of still want to take Reinforcements here. I guess Bloodline Pretender is the only card that like super combos with it. God, a lot of 2-drops would be okay. I don't know, I'm going to take Reinforcements. We're just going to have a lot of those. I do like Battlefield Raptor with the picks quite a bit. That's an easy scoop up. Definitely cutting Effigy now. Cut this Snow-Covered Plains. Probably not doing that. We get a red-white duel here. I'll take that over a Haji Mob. And some cards I don't want. Let's see, 2 lands. This is 24, 16 lands. We're pretty much set up. This is basically the deck we're going to play. Could maybe cut a Warhorn Blast. I could see cutting a Warhorn Blast for just like another 3-drop like Doomscar Oracle. We'll see. I'm not playing any of these cards, so I'm just going to take the highest rarity one for the Vault. Now we'll take that Cinderheart Giant just in case. Maybe we think we'll end up with a ton of treasures and try to cast it. I don't think we ended up with anything that cares about snow, so we're definitely cutting the Snow-Covered Mountain just like we cutted the Snow-Covered Plains, unless somehow we wheel that Frostbite. Ooh, like last pick Story Seeker here I'm pretty happy with. Not literally last pick, but very close. Alright. This looks pretty great. I'm cutting that Snow-Covered Mountain. We just don't have anything that cares about snow. See what we got here. Definitely cutting Seas of Spoils. And then we have 2 more cuts to go if we want to play, let's see, 15, 16. Oh, if we want to play 17 lands, we have 2 cuts to go. If we want to play 15 lands, we can just cut those 2. I think this is like probably right in the middle, probably a 16 land deck here. Because we do have 2 picks to get treasure tokens off of our early creatures to help cast our more expensive cards, but we also still have a decent amount of like moderately more expensive cards and mana sink type plays. Like Boast ability here, Boast ability there, Boast. Those are all different mana sinks. This one as well, a Boast ability. The Squash that will always need 5 mana to cast. Well, the vast majority of the time. I guess we have 2 giants in this deck. We have Bloodline Pretender and Basalt Ravager, but most of the time we need to hit 5 for Squash. Need to hit 5 for the mob. 4 for all these. I'm going to go 16 lands here. So 1 more cut to go. Do we need triple reinforcements? Not really, but I still think it's cute with Bloodline Pretender, because if we put Bloodline Pretender on Dwarves or Berserkers, then it'll get 2 counters when we cast it, right? Yeah, turn 3 Bloodline Pretender, turn 4 Dwarven Reinforcements, and then Bloodline Pretender's attacking in as a 4/4. Seems pretty exciting to me. Just a fun time in general. I definitely like all of our cheap cards, because like Clarion Spirit and stuff. Maybe we are just cutting like a Warhorn Blast. I don't think we've ended up like that aggro that Warhorn Blast is going to be a good finisher. I guess we have triple reinforcements and Clarion Spirit, so those are all creating tokens. Axguard Cavalry, Fearless Liberator could be boasting out tokens. Usher the Fallen could be boasting out tokens. Yeah, we're kind of go wide for stuff like Warhorn Blast, so maybe we are just cutting Squash, actually. Even without Squash, we have Bound Gold, Demon Bolt, and Provoke to Trolls. Squash is pretty expensive for us. Yeah, I'll cut Squash. I guess we also have Ravager as potentially removal. Average 2.8, 10 white, and 11 red symbols in our stuff. So, slightly more red. Right now we have 8 white sources, 7 red sources, and 1 that's both. Do I have anything that requires double red? Not really. Two red boast effects, 3 red boast effects, and 2 white boast effects. Yeah, I think I cut 1 white out of here, put in 1 more red. So now we're at 8 red, 7 white. Just turn it right around the other way. Alright. Pretty standard Boros aggro deck here. Just a lot of cheap, efficient creatures. Lots of ways to double spell things. A little bit of go wide and a little bit of artifact equipment synergies with double pickaxe and the rune. See how well it works out for us. Obviously, this hand is not working out. This hand could be fine. We don't have any double red or double white, so I guess I'll just get rid of the mountain here, because we have slightly more mountains in our deck. Drop down our Story Seeker turn 2 here. We could wait on that until we cast Bloodline Pretender, but I think we're just getting aggressive, especially because they started with Rimewood Falls, so they're probably a slower snow kind of deck that we're trying to just outrace here. Oh yeah, Rimewood Falls into Shimmerdrift Vale means we need to get running here. The draw of the Fearless Pup really made me want the second red here. So that's a bit awkward, but we could have just as easily drawn a white 1-drop. We actually have 2 white 1-drops, only 1 red 1-drop, so I don't think that putting the mountain back was a misplay or anything. Just didn't work out here. Yeah, Rune of Speed on Pup to make it a 2/1 first strike would be great here. I think I am still trying to draw a card, but I could be just dropping Pretender. I'm gonna drop Pretender here. And we've got a Wolf and a Troll Berserker in our hand, but we know we have a lot more Dwarves in the deck. I think I need to choose based on how we're getting aggressive right now. Just trying to outpace our opponent. So now if I hit a mountain, I get to play Fearless Pup, drop a Rune of Speed on it, and just attack all three. That would be fantastic. Do still get to attack with just the 2. If I Rune of Speed here. If I play Fearless Pup, that's the only thing I'm playing, whereas with Rune of Speed, I could draw a second 2-drop. Drop this on our Story Seeker. It's a little more valuable there than it is on the Pretender. But unfortunately, no 2-drop drawn. No second mountain either to drop the pup. We have Provoke the Trolls ready now. Our opponent's on 4 mana, all of it snow. Things could start going real bad for us real quickly. Like so. Spirit of the Alderguard coming out as a 4/4 because of the 4 snow lands, and it grabs a 5th one, so it'll be a 5/4 next turn. Can't attack into that well. But I could Provoke the Trolls, shoot it, make a trade up into it. Then Bloodline Pretender still gets in for 2. I think we just stumbled too much in the early game here. Yep. Don't think we're gonna get there. If a like 4 or 5 color snow deck just manages to stabilize against you, there's really not much you're gonna be able to do. Why is that tapped? Why is that? How is that? Oh, they had to tap the Sentinel to tap it for mana. Okay, that's weird. I guess I get to get in for some damage here. We're definitely going to send in. We're not worried about our life total. We're at 28, and we're not going to lose this game by, like, getting outraced. We're going to get outmatched, outclassed by the power level of their cards. A mob is good here, because we get to trade with the Spirit. Unless they have another struggle for Skemfar. We can also Provoke the Trolls on it to make it deal 10 damage to them. Yeah, this is a massive issue. Eska's Chariot, one of the best bombs in the set. But again, when you're playing against 4 or 5 color snow, it is not unreasonable to start seeing a bunch of bombs because they can just draft every bomb they see. That is part of the advantage of that deck. It's the payoff for the disadvantage of having tons of lands come to play tapped and being stuck on your mana a lot. So this will just happen. Yeah, the Chariot is brutal here. Because now I just attack in, and then they're like, okay, well, cool, I'll definitely trade with the Spirit of the Alderguard. Then they can just crew the Chariot next turn, make another 2/2 token. I guess I attack with Mob and just hope they don't block for whatever reason. That's pretty much my only out at this point. I'm at 28, so I'm not dying really quickly here, but they still have 3 more cards in hand we don't know about, and their Chariot just getting them a ton of value, and their board is just outclassing us. So sure, like life total we're winning technically, but in just about every other account we're massively losing here. They can even just crew the Chariot and have the Chariot trade with the Mob if they want. And they essentially spent 4 mana to kill our 5/4 and get 2 2/2s. Like, that's just how strong Chariot is. You don't even have to try to, like, keep copying your tokens for it to be good. It's also just 8 power and toughness for 4 mana. Seems real solid. They're going to do the double block. They want to play it real safe here. I guess I do get to kill both of those now, but then I'm just a top deck warrior at this point. Because like we boast with the Mob to do 1 damage to Chariot, do 5 to Spirit with our combat damage, and then do 3 more with Provoke the Trolls. I think that's where we're at. Top deck warrior, let's go. This was like our one shot to kill them. They obviously blocked. Made things safe. So now our odds of winning have gone to about like 1%. We have to get intensely lucky. Their hand has to be like 3 lands, and then they just drew another one right there. And then we have to draw like runner, runner, runner. But we'll see. Alright, 6 mana. It isn't scooping time yet. I love how we named Wolf with Pretender. We still haven't played a Wolf. We're just going to draw like multiple Dwarven reinforcements now. Dwarven Hammer from our opponent. See, this is what I really don't like 3 to 5 color decks in Limited, especially when they're like so signposted and powerful, when there's so many duels and good fixing and lands and stuff like this. Because then like other decks, it's just like, you know, I'm like Boros aggro. The exact card I always want is Dwarven Hammer, but somebody in 4 or 5 color snow can just be like, ah, this is a great card, and just scoop it up. It's like, no, that's my hammer. That's my hammer. You're not even aggro. Get out of here. Give me my hammer back. But no, they will not give me my hammer back. You know, there's also probably like somebody drafting Blue-Red Giants, but the Snow deck picked up the Battle of Frost and Fire because it does 4 to all creatures, just as a Wrath effect. Just a lot of stuff like that. The greedy 5-color decks just taking all the bombs. At least they can't attack in with the Dwarf token because I have a 1/1 First Striker, but they can just throw the hammer onto the cat, send in. I have to trade with Pretender and they throw it on the other cat. I guess I don't have to trade with Pretender. I can just take 5 for a bit here, being at 28. The Yara Kinseekers as a 3/5 that scries 1. More powerful stuff to hold the fort. Blessing of Frost. They're going to draw a bunch of cards off of this. They spent 4 snow on it, so they can make both of their cats 4/4s, draw 3 cards. Yeah, I mean, I know what's in my deck, and I know we're going to lose. It's just going to take a few turns, so I'm just going to scoop it up at this point. We don't have Doomscar or anything that's going to change things around at this point. So we'll head into the next round. I tend not to concede unless I know we're like 100% going to lose, but that was like 99.99999. The only way we were winning is if our opponent just decided to stop playing. Like they just had something to do, had to go concede or something. This hand seems potentially pretty great. Do need to hit 1 more land. I guess we don't. Like, we can just play 2-drop, 2-drop, then start foretelling things. I'm going to play Shieldmate first, because Liberator's only good if we hit the 3rd land. Seems a bit risky there. We did hit the 3rd land, which is a little bit awkward. Obviously, Liberator in hindsight would have been better, but this is just a more consistently solid play to just start with Shieldmate. So could foretell something, could like foretell reinforcements, and then if I do hit a land next turn, I get to play reinforcements and Liberator. Even if I don't, I get 2/2/1s right there at the price of 4 mana over both turns, whereas Liberator would be 5 mana over the 2 turns. Yeah, I think I will foretell a Dwarven reinforcements here. Opponent seems to be just on blue-green here, but you never know. With green in this format, with all the fixing they have, Jaspera Sentinel, Path to the World Tree, Glittering Frost, the Spirit Bear thingy, just tons of stuff. This Human Warrior, Dwarf Berserker. We would have 3 Dwarves out if I cast Reinforcements and Liberator, so Basalt Ravager would do 3 damage to something. I could Demon Bolt Mistwalker right now, but that's the only card I'd play this turn. It's probably better to just play Reinforcements and Liberator. Go to kill the Mistwalker next turn. We could even just like hit a 5th land and send in a Warhorn Blast attack to kill Mistwalker. That would be really solid as well. We'd be hitting for a lot of damage too. Yep, Eska's Chariot's definitely a thing, as we saw last game. Yeah, that's pretty awful for us. Usher of the Fallen, hold up Demon Bolt. We can't even attack in if we don't Demon Bolt Mistwalker because all our stuff has 1 toughness here. If we foretell this Warhorn Blast, we know we get to attack in next turn, but then we also have the problem of them crewing Chariot and sending in. Because obviously if I foretell Warhorn Blast, I don't have the mana to Demon Bolt anymore. If they crew Chariot and attack in, I have to trade off with 2 of my creatures and they're creating another token. I don't think we can let that happen. I think the only thing I could cast here is Usher of the Fallen and just hold up Demon Bolt. But now we have to plan on killing the Chariot. Instead of the Mistwalker. We don't even get to kill it unless they crew. Like, they could just cast other things that just not crew here, and then we don't even get the Demon Bolt. I guess if they go to their end step, we can Demon Bolt Mistwalker, hope to hit the 5th land to Warhorn Blast this turn, send in and just Warhorn Blast when they try to block with Chariot. Be like our best hope. But even through a Warhorn Blast, since that only adds 1 toughness to our creatures, if they just try to attack or try to block with the cat tokens instead of the Chariot itself, that'll pan out really poorly for us because our creatures will still just trade 1 for 1 with their 2/2s. Really depends on what they play here. But even on board, they've got a lot going for them. Bears of Liara. That's very bad. I think we have to Demon Bolt Mistwalker now, and then use Basalt Ravager to kill the 2/2 Changeling, because this turns all of their Changelings into 4/4s next turn, permanently. We definitely can't let them have a 4/4 Flying Mistwalker, that sounds terrible. They are crewing Chariot, though. I mean, this is really where I have to make the choice. I have to choose to Demon Bolt that before they go to combat. If I'm trying to kill Chariot that way. I'm guessing... God, they get to make another of any token they control? A token that's a copy of target token you control. That's so... Oh my god. The combos here. Eska's Chariot and Bears of Liara. Comboing together like peanut butter and jelly. I'm just thinking about peanut butter and jelly a lot today. I don't know what it is. We did draw the Warhorn Blast mana. So I guess I could just send in and then Ravager the Shapeshifter based on what happens here. We're hitting for 16 if they only block 1 thing. Okay, so we hit for 12. Hit for 12, kill Mistwalker, kill the 2/2. Now they have a 4/4 Shapeshifter. I guess they do get to kill Liberator through a Warhorn Blast because they have the mana to pump Mistwalker. Probably should have still just been on the Basalt Ravager to kill the 2/2 plan. Oh my god. Yeah, that makes things abysmal for us, because now they get to keep both of the Shapeshifters. And now they have Bergstrider to follow up. Alright, well, I now actively think it would not have mattered. But on board, it was better to just Basalt Ravager kill that 2-2, because then they'd be stuck with just a Mistwalker here. I'd still have the +2/+1 to everything this turn to try to then push in for lethal now, in which case they just have 3 blockers. They'd have Bergstrider, a 2-2, and a 4-4 Mistwalker. We would still have an Usher of the Fallen that way. Yeah, but now there's nothing we can do. This is about to go off, and they're going to do 12 damage to whatever permanent they want. It's like Liberator's already dead. Now they kill one of our 2/1s as well. We've got 2 2/1s against this board. I guess we get to kill their cat. I have 3 creatures that share a type, that's it. I guess I am giving them a better target to hit with Bears of Liara here, but it doesn't matter. It's pretty much concession time. We have... They're at 6 life. Is there anything we have? We have Provoke the Trolls to do 3 to them. We've got like Bound in Gold. If they get like really, really bold about their attacks, I guess I could have Basalt Ravagered their face and then tried to draw Provoke the Trolls. Yeah, it's super unlikely, but that was basically my only out here. And I did not play to that because I forgot about Basalt Ravager shooting face again. As I always do. So I could have put them to 3 life. Oh my god. What is their pod? Essica's Chariot, Bears of Liara, and Tyvar? This is a brutal draft here. This is... I don't know what it is. This is just how Kaldheim always feels to me. It just feels like mega bombs all over the table. But obviously that is a pretty unpopular opinion amongst the pros and stuff. I know LSV and Ben Stark and all that love the set a lot. But I find the game's just dramatically swingy at times. Even the non-bomb decks are just the hyper aggro, like Boros kind of decks, and those games are even just super swingy. It's like they draw the nuts hand or they don't. Pretty much. Which is, you know, kind of what we're trying to do. Trying to draw the nuts hand. I'm going to play this out to see if I would draw Provoke the Trolls. Obviously. I guess just because, I don't know, I'm being a sadist here. Because if I draw Provoke the Trolls, I'm just going to feel terrible, because then I could have Basalt Ravagered them and then Provoked for lethal. Maybe I'm just holding out hope that I won't draw it anyway, so it didn't matter. Sometimes the cards are aligned against you a little.
I believe we can be heroes.
Tyvar, you think you're the hero here? Wow. I guess I'm the villain today. Guess it depends on your favorite decks and strategies. I guess a lot of people would say aggro are the villains. Dwarven Reinforcements. Well, we're super dead in the air, so it would not have mattered, but... I guess if I held on to Basalt Ravager the whole time, now I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dwarfs. I could put them to 1 life. But yeah, we're dead. We are dead to flyers. Pretty solid Tyvar as well, just on the shapeshifters. Putting counters on them and untapping them. All of that fancy stuff. So blue-green changelings there. Really solid deck from our opponent. Lots of synergies there with Mistwalkers. Heading into round 3. Would love to not just 0-3. So trying to get at least 1 win here with this Boros aggro deck. See how it pans out. The World Tree to start things off for our opponent, so they are almost definitely green-based 5 color. Because that card is absurd in that kind of strategy. Once you hit 6 lands, all of your lands tap for whatever color you need. So fantastic late game in any multicolor deck. Just drop a cavalry here. They're on green-red so far with a snow-covered mountain. Axe Guard Cavalry, come on out. 2 mana up, could be a Frostbite, yep. Shoot the cavalry down. Ice Tunnel, yep. 5-color snow it is. Hit for 1 for Demon Bolt here. Why would the auto tapper do that? In what universe do I need white mana right now? I wish the auto tapper would be better, because it is kind of time consuming to tap everything, but I guess that's what you have to do in IRL Magic. It's just been a couple years since that's been a thing. I guess just 1 year. Path to the World Tree, grab the white source. So now they just have Cruel Ultimatum. This card's, like, pretty absurd to me. I get that the reason it can be so powerful is because you have to get all 5 colors to use it. But then, like, if you get all 5 colors, you're, like, 3 for 1-ing your opponent. Because you're drawing 2 cards, probably killing one of their things with the 2 damage. And you're getting a 2/2 bear. You're basically 4 for 1-ing your opponent off this thing. So I get that the balancing feature that they tried to put in there was that it has to be 5 colors and 7 mana, which is quite a bit of work, but it also just helps you get there, because the first half of the card gets you a basic land of whatever color you needed. Path to the World Tree just seems a little pushed. This draft is just going to be the draft where I lose to 5-color snow like 3 times and complain about it. I could Gold Vein pick and equip, but attacking with Braggart also gets in for just as much. 2, 3, 4, 5 mana here, 1 more mana, and they'll have the 6 lands for the World Tree, but they need 2 more mana for the Path to the World Tree to go off. I actually think, just to be safe, I'm going to throw the pick onto the Raptor so that all my stuff has at least 2 toughness to survive the path. This could be a Demon Bolt here. Foretold. If it is, they probably just shoot Braggart. Yep. Get a treasure here. At least they only have 2 cards left. Of course, Path to the World Tree will draw them 2 more. Just need 1 more land now. And a Lindworm it is, gaining 4 life, back up to 19, almost 20. Definitely have no way to kill that. Don't have a good block for it either. Guess I just send in my 2. Do what I can. But yeah, now I can only play a 2 toughness creature, which is just going to get shot by Path to the World Tree, and then they have a 6/6 bashing me every turn that I don't have anything big enough to deal with. So 6 mana, I could play like Pretender and Doomscar Oracle. That way Pretender's a 3/3. So at least I have like 1 more creature to be bashing in with. Go human, I guess. Maybe we're supposed to go cleric, because I have a couple dwarf clerics in here, but I also have some human warriors. So I think it's pretty 50-50 on which I could draw here, humans or clerics. Ooh, tapped land for the Path to the World Tree, so it's not going off quite yet. And a Guardian Glade Warden as a 2/2. Throw the wings on Lindworm, send it in. Down to 13. We can kill Glade Walker with Basalt Ravager, then the Ravager dies to Path. We know they have the 7 mana for it. But we get to hit in for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. It's not much, but I think it's the best we can do. Down to 9. Pass turn. Yep. There's the path. And now they can just hold back the Lindworm. I can shut it off with Bound in Gold now. They only have the 2/2, 2/2 blocks Oracle. I hit for 5. We've got a shot here. Bound in Gold was a pretty good draw. So that we can actually deal with Lindworm. Because we couldn't do it with Provoke. Do I even offer the trade with Oracle? I think I do, because then I followed up with another attacker here. So, like, it just clears their board. They have 2 cards in hand to present more blockers. We might actually be getting here. Oh, and the Bestial Shieldmate, one of the human warriors I was talking about. I guess I should have played that pre-combat. Gotten 1 more damage. Totally forgot about the card types there. Oh, they have the Mirror Lake. Didn't even notice when they played that land. Well, they're at 10. Block there, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hit us for 8. I think we just crack in with everybody twice in a row. That's our only shot, really. So we hit 5 here. I guess I could kill their Lindworm. Yeah, this is a really hard choice here. Let me see how much damage that puts them at 6. Yeah, so Provoke's not going to be lethal on them next turn, so we just kill the Lindworm, I guess. Provoke would only be lethal if we drew away to get rid of Lindworm as well. Seraph's Packmate, 3/3, and they draw a card. And an Icehide Troll. They don't have the mana to buff the Troll here, so we equip the pick to the Shieldmate so I can send him with that and actually kill something here, or do 3 to them. Pretty sure we're dead next turn, because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 6 snow mana, so they can buff 8 onto the Icehide Troll. They can make it 10, 11 with the Raven Wings. I guess I do get to chump block with my Battlefield Raptor, but that's all I've got. I mean, that might convince them to just not attack here. Just throw wings onto the Troll and pass. Then I don't have attacks, though. What is this? What is their draw for turn here? Just another creature? I guess any other creature, they just throw the wings onto it and I don't get to attack in. Yep, that's bad. So block whatever they give flying to. I think Icehide Troll's just too much for us here. So obviously the mob can trade into the Outrider, but they have more than enough to give Icehide Troll indestructible 3 times over. I don't even know what their lands are because they are all like gold and disgusting blue text on them because of the World Tree. Okay, they don't have any more non-basics. Got 1 card in their hand, and they're tanking a bit here. Just a land. So they are going past combat and just passing turn, it looks like. Axe card Armory. Unfortunately, we only ended up with 1 bound in gold in this deck. Otherwise, this would save us here. Pretty much get us to lethal. As it stands, we can't do anything. We attack with both. They block Troll on Mob. Outrider on Raptor. Axe Guard Armory is just going to get us another Gold Vein pick. Just not quite going to do it. Do they have gods in their deck? Oh, they have Shapeshifters. Shapeshifters work as well. Alright, well. Seems solid. They get to kill our Gold Vein pick with one of these Masked Vandals, and then they throw some counters on their stuff. They don't get to kill our treasure tokens, because they have to exile creatures from their grave to do it, so there's just, it's not worth it. But they get to kill the Gold Vein pick. Well, I guess it is worth it. They don't have any graveyard recursion. I guess we know that they just drew all of their Masked Vandals out already. They only have 13 cards left in their deck. I was gonna say maybe we can try to just survive a while. But, I mean, even on board, we could not, because now they had just more than enough blockers to just send an Outrider and then make me chump and then throw the wings onto like a Gladewalker or something. But with Avalanche Color, that's immediate lethal. Turn all their lands into 4/4 haste hexproofer threats. Just block as much damage as we possibly can, which would be blocking 6 there. They have 2 snow mana up, so Eyeside Troll does 4. So we gotta block just 4 damage. We'd rather block their best land. Take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We are very dead. Alright, well, that is a way to start the new limited season with a nice little 0-3 start. Throw those gems in the shredder. At least we're getting it out of the way now while we're Platinum Tier 4, and we're literally losing nothing out of losing in terms of ranking. We are losing gems, of course, which is not where I want to be. The Magic Arena Content Creator Program still has not yet to put any challenges up all year, so I've gotten 0 gems out of that. So I am starting to just pick up gem bundles on my own to afford the daily drafts. Can definitely get pricey if we repeatedly 0-3, so hopefully we can turn that around. Of course, this month I am excited for Limited this month in general because they are bringing back a variety of sets. We have quick drafts of Theros Beyond Death this week. I'll be alternating between these and the Kaldheim drafts for the time being, and then March 12th we'll bring back War of the Spark, and I think later in the month some core sets will also have premiere drafts. So lots of Limited variety. It's going to be a good month for Limited in general. So I'm excited to play plenty more Limited to help me get up to Mythic, even if I don't shoot up there on Kaldheim immediately. So, as always, thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, stick around right where you're at if you want to see more. There's also a link to my Twitch channel in the description below if you want to see when I'm playing just some extra games for fun and chilling with all of you. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow for some more I was going to say Magic Arena related content, but I want to leave myself open to maybe making a Hearthstone or Pokemon video just one random time. I feel like if I say I'll see you again for more Magic Arena content, then I can't just make tomorrow's video a Yu-Gi-Oh video or something if I randomly want to. I want to leave myself open up to that. It might happen. It probably never will, but just in case, I'll see you again tomorrow for question mark.